All right, Ray Burris, the veteran right-hander, is out on the hill for the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. For Burris, this will be his third start against the Yankees, although he does not have a decision against them in his 1985 season. He pitched one game here at County Stadium. He really pitched a dandy. He left the game, and the Brewers had the lead. And then the game was tied, and the Yankees wanted an extra innings, and he did not figure in the decision. Ricky Henderson is stepping in, and here to tell you about it is Frank Messer.
Well, thank you very much, John Gordon. Good evening, everybody, wherever you might be listening to New York Yankees baseball. We hope it's a pleasant evening for you. We hope the broadcast will add to your enjoyment of the evening. First pitch lowered outside, and this game is underway. First back with a fastball high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Ricky Henderson batting .329 after going 1 for 4 last night. 20 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 120 runs scored. He takes a fastball for a strike, and the count is 2-1. Henderson had a couple of hits in the ball game against Burris. That super game that Ray pitched out here at County Stadium, he allowed only 4 hits. Henderson had 2 of them. Ricky bounces one to the shortstop. Bobbled for a moment by Riles, but he gets the handle in time to throw him out. 1 away. Henderson retired, and Ken Griffey will step in. Griffey is batting .270. He went 1 for 4 last night. 6 home runs, 57 RBIs. Burris, in his start here at County Stadium against the Yankees, went 8 1/3 innings, allowed only 1 run on 4 hits. He walked 6 and struck out 5. And as John told you, the Yankees won the ball game, but they got the winning run of Bob Gibson in the 13th inning. He starts Griffey off with a breaking pitch, low and in, ball 1. Pete Rose is 0 for 2 tonight in Cincinnati. Check swing, and the pitch is low. We will be kept up to date, and so we'll keep you up to date on Pete Rose's actions tonight. There's a strike, and the count is 2-1 on Ken Griffey. Burris, a rather quick worker. Right arm around. The pitch is wide. 3-1. Molitor at third base. Plays Griffey in on the grass. Outfield is deep around. And the 3-1 delivery. Strike call, 3-2. Burris has won 7 and lost 5 here at County Stadium this year. He's won 6 of his last 8 County Stadium decisions. The pitch. Bouncing ball past the mound to his right to second baseman Gatner. He's got it. He throws in time. Griffey is retired, 2 down. The batter will be Don Mattingly. Mattingly went 4 for 6 in last night's ball game. Mattingly and Henderson came into this game tied for 3rd in the league in hitting, both men hitting .329. Wade Boggs of Boston, .362. George Brett of Kansas City, .343. Mattingly has 180 base hits now, and he takes low, ball 1. That is second to Boggs, who has 198. Mattingly leads the majors in RBIs with 120. A strike is called. It's 1-1. Mattingly is at 28 home runs. Leads the American League in doubles with 40. Lines a foul to the seats off the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Don Mattingly. Burris looks down to Charlie Moore. Receives the sign and pitches to Mattingly. Fly ball is hit out into shallow left. Coming on for it, Randy Reddy, the left fielder. He makes the catch, and the Yankees go 1-2-3. At the end of 1/2 inning, it's New York nothing, and the Brewers are coming to bat. WABC. Anheuser-Busch wants you to participate in the Bud Bunch Trivia Quiz.
Each week we'll be asking a new trivia question about the Yankees. And if your entry is randomly selected, you have the correct answer. You win 4 tickets to a Yankee home game, a souvenir packet, and you'll be welcomed down the center field scoreboard at Yankee Stadium. This week's question is, nicknamed Smash, this Yankee infield great was named Rookie of the Year in 1951. Can you name him? Entries for this week's question must be received by game time on September 17th, when the winners will be selected. Send postcard entries only to Bud Bunch Trivia Quiz number 15, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. No purchase is necessary. Ed Whitson is out on the hill for the Yanks this evening. 9 wins, 7 losses on the year. Against the Brewers this season, he is 0-1. And lifetime, he's 1-1. He was the losing pitcher at Yankee Stadium when the Brewers and Danny Darwin beat the Yankees and Ed Whitson 5-1. Excuse me, here at County Stadium. That was the opening game of that 4-game series here. And Whitson's loss in that game was his 6th of the season. He was 1-6, kind of the low water mark of Ed's 1985 year. He's really turned it around, winning 8 of his last 9 decisions and bidding to become the 4th double-digit winner for the Yanks in this 1985 season. Frank?
He works to Paul Molitor, who leads off for the Brewers, right-hand hitting third baseman. Molitor is batting .301, 8 home runs, 40 RBIs. Paul went 2 for 4 last night. Pagliarulo plays him in at third, and the first pitch breaks way outside, ball 1.
I guess actually it'd be the 5th. Cowley's won 10, Guidry 18, Nico 15, and Righetti's won 12 out of the bullpen.
1-0 delivery. Foul back off of Hassey, and that knocked him down. Boy, Hassey has really taken a beating over the last several ball games. That one got him flush on the mask and knocked him right down. He's up and all right. The Yankees play with Griffey in left, Henderson in center, Winfield in right, Pagliarulo at third, Meacham at short, Rex Hudler at second base for the injured Randolph, Mattingly at first, Hassey catching. Whitson has won his last 4 decisions. The Yankees have won the last 8 games that Whitson started. 1-1 pitch is fouled off Hassey's foot. Well, this is the leadoff batter, and Hassey has been hurt twice already. Rocked with a foul right off the mask, and that one got him off the foot. 1-2 count on Molitor. Leading off, Molitor has batted .377 this year in the leadoff position. Very fine athlete. Gets a sharp grounder through the left side, base hit. Pagliarulo dove, could not come up with it. And Molitor leads off the bottom half of the first inning with a solid smash to left. And now Randy Reddy. I love that name. Randy Reddy, right-hand batter, hitting .275, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. Reddy went 2 for 5 in last night's ball game. Randy is not a nickname, that is his given name. He takes a low fastball. Randy Max Reddy. One-0 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Infield double play depth and the pitch. Fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. Whitson in 145 innings this year has given up 180 base hits, walked 38, struck out 79. He has an earned run average of 4.72. Fastball is fouled straight back by Reddy. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the right-hand hitter. In winning last night's ball game, the Yankees closed in on the season series with Milwaukee. The Yankees have won 3 and lost 5 to the Brewers. The Yankees have won 2 and lost 3 here at County Stadium. 2-1 pitch coming. Fastball high. Reddy steps out, looks at his third base coach, Tony Muser. Andy Etchebarren, former catcher for the Baltimore Orioles, coaches at first. And the 3-1 pitch, runner goes. It's hit high and foul off the left side. Pagliarulo in pursuit, but he will not have room. Ball is about 3 rows deep in the seats. Pagliarulo went a long way down the line for that one.
And the ball really came back from deep box seat territory to where it was about the 3rd or 4th row. The wind, which is blowing across toward right field, brought that ball almost back into play.
The wind is definitely strong enough to be a factor in the ball game. Blowing, as John told you, from left to right. Big plus for the left-hand hitters. 3-2 pitch, throw to first base instead, and Molitor is back. Well, Molitor was going on 3-1. We'll see if he goes on 3-2. He's stolen 19 bases, caught 7 times. Woodson throws over there again, drives him back to the bag. Looking around the stands, John, going to have about the same size crowd tonight as last night, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't believe it's even going to be as big.
Really? Well, last night the crowd here was only 7,176. We'll see later on. 3-2 pitch coming. There goes Molitor. Swung out in line. Base hit into center field. Molitor around second, and Henderson lets the ball get to him. That's going to score 1 run and may score 2. They're running ready. Hard. They're going to bring him. Here comes the relay by Hudler, and he slides. He's safe, and the Brewers lead 2-0. Molitor was breaking from first. Reddy lined one to center. Henderson let the ball roll right under his glove and through his leg. Not only did Molitor score, but Reddy circles the bases. A single, no run batted in, and a 3-base error will be charged to Henderson in center field. And our Cecil Cooper takes a high outside fastball.
Well, Randy Reddy runs well, and he just had the opportunity to come around and score. Hudler's relay from Henderson was a little bit off the mark for Hassey.
Cooper hits one in the air, left center field. Griffey on the run and makes the catch in the gap. That's the first out of the inning.
I'm not saying Hudler would have had Reddy coming in from third base, but I think it would have been a very close play. And the throw by Rex to the Milwaukee Brewer dugout side of home plate off to the right, allowing Reddy to slide in safely with the second run on the play.
Again, we'll give you the scores ruling. A single, no RBI, and an error to Henderson. Simmons hits the first pitch on 2 hops to second base. Hudler's got that one and throws him out. And there are 2 down. Ted Simmons came in batting .269. 254 is the left-hand batter as he was swinging. And now the Brewers candidate for Rookie of the Year, Ernest Riles. Young shortstop is batting .297, 5 home runs, 41 RBIs.
Still no score in the Detroit-Toronto game in the 4th inning. Alexander against Morris.
First pitch to Riles comes in high for a ball. Right here, the Brewers lead 2-0. At the moment, the runs are unearned. Whitson's pitch. Foul back to the left side. And the count squares at a ball and a strike. Ernie Riles, a native of Wiggum, Georgia, and that is a new one on me. I've never been to Wiggum. Foul back to the left side.
Have you been through it?
No, I haven't been through it. I just don't know where it is. I've been to a lot of places in Georgia, but I've never been to Wiggum. A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Riles. 2 runs across here for the Brewers on a very costly Henderson error in center field. Bouncing foul back behind the plate. Ricky was not in the act of trying to catch the line drive when it got to him. The ball had already hit the deck and rolled through him. One and two as Whitson tries to get Ryle. Foul back up the screen. Count holds at 1 and 2. This is Whitson's 28th start of the year. 17 of his 28 starts have been on the road. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss struck him out. Got him with a fastball. The Brewers scored 2 unearned runs on 2 hits, a Henderson error, and nobody left. At the end of 1 inning, it's Milwaukee 2 and the Yankees nothing. Welcome.
People Express is 5 daily non-stops to Houston for just $79 off peak, or $109 peak with absolutely no restrictions. And because there are no restrictions to talk about, People Express would like us to use the time that's left in this commercial to talk baseball. Not a whole lot to report on the People Express minor league update. The Fort Lauderdale Yankees lost last night 2-0 in the 4th game of their championship series with Fort Myers, and lost that series 3 games to 1. And in the game, Dodie Rather was the losing pitcher, and the Fort Lauderdale season is over. Columbus has started their best of 5 series with Tidewater for the Governor's Cup Championship, and the game's being played at Cooper Stadium in Columbus. At the end of 6 innings of play, Tidewater leads 2-0. Clay Christensen is pitching for Columbus tonight. And Columbus will be the only team left in minor league activities after Fort Lauderdale was beaten last night. People Express Airlines, because they have no restrictions to talk about, we're able to talk baseball.
Dave Winfield to lead off the second. Of the 2 runs on Whitson's record in the first inning, 1 is earned, 1 is unearned. Winfield went 1 for 6 last night. His 1 hit was his 24th home run of the year. He has driven in 98, batting .278. So Ray Burris with a 2-run lead starts his windup and the pitch to Winfield. Way high and off speed. Ball 1.
Well, the Tigers got a run in the 5th inning. As a matter of fact, they have 1 run in with 1 on and 1 out in the 5th against Alexander, and Detroit is leading by a 1-0 score.
And we'll keep everybody updated on that game, certainly. Burris back with a curveball that's waved at. 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Winfield. Ron Hassey is on deck. Danny Pasqua to follow. Suddenly, the wind has just quit blowing. It was blowing a small gale in the first inning, and now it has stopped completely. Very strange. Fastball inside to Winnie. 2 balls and a strike. Winfield steps away, now back in. Burris looks at Charlie Moore. Starts to wind, slight hesitation, and pitches. Winfield grounds 1, base hit to the left side. Sharply a ground ball in between Molitor and Riles, and Winfield is on with a leadoff single. I don't remember Burris doing that earlier in the year, John. I could be mistaken. He has almost a hesitation-type pitch now, and I believe that is something new.
Yeah, his motion doesn't look anywhere near the same as it was in the 2 starts that he made against the Yankees in June.
He'll pitch now to Ron Hassey. Hassey went 1 for 4 last night. He's batting .290. Ron has 10 home runs, 34 RBIs. Takes the pitch on the inside corner. The set and the pitch. Hit in the air, center field. Householder coming on, calling for it, and makes the catch. 1 out. Paul Householder's first step was back. He had to come on in and to his right, but he got there in plenty of time.
All right, Frank, let's take a 10-second Longines watch timeout on the New York Yankee Radio Network. Have you seen the exciting gold medal from Longines, the world's most honored watch? See it at Santa Barbara Jewelers in Union City, New Jersey.
If you can't get to the game, you can see it on the radio.
Dan Pasqua will step in. He went 0 for 3 last night, batting .220, 8 homers, 24 RBIs. The set by Burris. Checks Winfield with a look. The pitch to Pasqua. Strike over the outside corner. Milwaukee is the 6th Major League club for Ray Burris. Much of his career was spent with the Chicago Cubs. Pitched for the Yankees. Also pitched for the Mets, the Montreal Expos, and the Oakland Athletics. Foul back by Pasqua. No balls and 2 strikes. Burris takes a breather. Ray is 35 years old. He pitches. Low and inside. Great play by Charlie Moore, the catcher, to save a wild pitch. It almost hit Pasqua in the foot. I don't see how Moore even got to that ball. He made an acrobatic move behind the plate. Excellent play by Moore. Ray is not Burris' first name. He was named Bertram Burris. Bertram Ray Burris. He sends a changeup in for a called strike 3, and Pasqua is caught looking. First strikeout for Burris. 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be Mike Pagliarulo. What a night Pags had last night. He went 4 for 5, including his 18th home run. Mike Pagliarulo. He's batting now with Winfield at first and 2 outs.
First time in his Major League career, he's had 4 hits in 1 game.
He was quite thrilled. I listened to you talk to him in the dugout show after the game. He takes the curve low, ball 1. Burris is an Oklahoman, born in Idabel, Oklahoma. Comes set and delivers. That time Winfield bluffed going, took a couple of quick steps. Moore was ready to throw. The pitch was inside for a ball. It's 2-0. Ray Burris got his first Major League win against the New York Mets while pitching for the Chicago Cubs in 1973. 2-0 delivery. Check swing on a low breaking pitch. 3 balls and no strikes to Pagliarulo. Burris takes a little stroll around the mound, goes for the rosin bag, drops it. The Brewers are leading 2-0. We're in the 2nd inning. The pitch to Pags. Strike call. That is 3-1. Pagliarulo has homered in 6 of his last 17 starting assignments. Throw to first. Winfield is back. Willie Horton coaches at first base for the Yankees. Gene Michael coaches at third. 3-1 count on Pagliarulo. And the pitch. Foul back to the upper deck on the left side. The Brewers don't give up anything defensively to Pagliarulo. They have the outfield spread out. There are really no gaps. Milwaukee leads 2-0. Rex Hudler waits in the on-deck circle. Now the breeze has picked up again. Burris comes set and pitches. Winfield goes. Ground ball slowly hit to the right side. Fielded by the second baseman, Gantner. And Burris drops the throw. Everybody is safe. Winfield to second and Pagliarulo to first as Burris dropped the throw from the second baseman, Gantner. Burris over the cover. It'll be an assist for Gantner, and an error will be charged to Burris. So the Yankees got a break here.
Really wasn't an opportunity for Winfield to advance to third on the play. He was just running to second with 2 down, and Burris just bobbled the ball at first base. He did not play that one well.
That'll bring up Rex Hudler, right-hand hitter. Hudler went 0 for 1 last night. Hudler's been about 7 times with 3 hits. Checks his swing, but he takes a strike on the first pitch. Hudler batted .250 at Columbus this year. 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. Stole 29 bases. First comes set and pitches. Low and outside. Hudler came to the plate twice last night. Once called upon a sacrifice, laid down a fine sacrifice bunt. Officially went 0 for 1. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch from Burris with 2 on and 2 gone. Popped up down the right side. It's going to take a long run for somebody, and Gantner, the second baseman, is there and makes the catch. Gantner almost overran that ball. No runs, a base hit, and error. 2 men are left on at the end of 1.5 to score. Milwaukee 2 and the Yankees nothing. Chromatic shots as their favorite. And now there's a new favorite on the way. It's the Monroe Gasmatic, a gas charge shot. Better ride, affordable price. Jimmy's Automotive is located at 3, open 6 days a week. Jimmy's Automotive Service. We'll be going to the bottom half of the second, and the Yankees scoreboard is brought to you by members only. When you put it on, something happens. Outerwear and sportswear to combine extraordinary styling, colors, and fabrics to take you beyond fashion to a bold new feeling about you. Members only. I'll check the scores while John checks the play-by-play.
All right, thank you, Frank. And the leadoff batter for the Brewers here in the second inning, Jimmy Gantner, the left-handed swinging second baseman. He takes the strike, and then a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Gantner's hitting at .253, 5 homers and 40 RBIs on the year. 2-0, Milwaukee leading, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a Whitson fastball. 1-2.
Detroit 1, Toronto nothing at the end of 4.5. Jack Morris, 14-9 pitching for the Tigers, and Doyle Alexander, 14-8 for Toronto.
Cut and a miss, strike 3. Boy, Whitson just blew a fastball right by Gantner. He didn't have a prayer swinging at that pitch. And Gantner struck out 2 in a row for Ed Whitson. He whipped Ernest Riles for the 3rd out of the 1st inning. And gets Gantner here for the opening out of the 2nd inning.
Baltimore out-homered Boston and outscored Boston in the first game of a doubleheader at Fenway. The Orioles with 4 homers, the Red Sox with 2. Baltimore wins at 7-5.
All right, the batter is going to be left-handed swinging Paul Householder. It's a fly ball down the left field line. Caught by Ken Griffey in fair territory. Householder disposed of on a pitch. 2 away in the inning.
Mike Young had 2 homers for the Birds. Eddie Murray and John Shelby also homered. Jim Rice and Rich Gedman for Boston. Baltimore won at 7-5. Storm Davis over Bruce Hurst. Nightcap 1-0 Boston, and a 1.5 on a Dwight Evans home run, his 22nd.
How many home runs for Mike Young?
Mike Young now is at 26 for the year.
Wow.
Eddie Murray has 27. Minnesota and Chicago scoreless at the end of 2. Bert Blyleven against Jody Davis. No, it's not Jody Davis. Joel Davis. Come on, Brian. All right, they're scoreless at the end of 2. Kansas City at California, later start. So is Cleveland at Seattle, and Texas at Oakland.
All right, here's Charlie Moore batting for the Brewers. 2 down, nobody on. We're in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. And Charlie Moore is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Whitson pitches, and a fastball hit on a hop to first baseman Mattingly. And that's going to be all for Moore and for the Brewers in a very quick 1-2-3 second inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left for the Brewers in the second at the end of 2. Milwaukee 2 and New York nothing.
Simmons, you know why you'll never make it in this?
The Bridgestone Tire Company presents not-so-famous trivia about the New York Yankees. On April 30th, 1946, the New York Yankees were defeated by a premier hurler, Bob Feller, who was on his way to a 26-win season and an outstanding career with the Cleveland Indians. Why is this loss significant? We'll tell you after this. For top road performance, Bridgestone would like to introduce loss on April 30th, 1946, the pitching great Bob Feller significant. Well, it was the first no-hitter against the Yankees in 27 years. This Yankee Trivia is brought to you by the Bridgestone Tire Company and your local Bridgestone dealer, SCS Tire Warehouse, part of the Major League TUE. SCS Tire Warehouse has convenient New Jersey location. When you need tires, service, wheels, etc. Let's check the National League. The Cardinal-Mets game delayed by rain on the top of the third inning at Shea. The Mets scored 5 in the first and are leading 5-1. Howard Johnson has a grand slam home run for the New York Mets. It is delayed by rain in the top of the third. The Dodgers beat the Braves 10-1 in the first game of a doubleheader. No report on the nightcap. Montreal leads Philadelphia 1-0 at the end of 4 on a home run by Tim Wallet. The Pirates are out in front of the Chicago Cubs 2-1 at the end of 6. San Diego 2, Cincinnati 2 at the end of 5.5. The Giants and the Houston Astros are scoreless at the end of 2. And here the Brewers lead 2-0, and the Yankee scoreboard has been brought to you by Members Only, the brand that's changing the way America looks.
All right, Frank, here's Bobby Meacham to lead off for the Yankees. In the top half of the third inning, 2-0, Milwaukee leading. Burris to Meacham in a bunt attempt. He fouled it back. His second pitch is high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Brewers got 2 in the bottom half of the first inning. Meacham again shows bunt, takes a strike on the inside corner, and 1-2. Bobby down to 222. He has 1 homer, 42 RBI. 0 for 4 in last night's game. Burris works ahead now at a ball and 2 strikes. He pitches to Meacham high with a fastball, and it'll be 2-2 the count. Oh, Meach is mired in his front here, right, Frank?
He's had only 8 hits in his last 55 at bat.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Popped up on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Riles calling, and now Molitor to the third baseman in front of Riles, and Molitor grabs it 1 away. Well, here's Henderson, grounded out to short, his first at bat, and 0 for 1 in the game. Yankees have 1 hit of Dave Winfield, second inning single, and they've had 2 base runners. Winfield had that leadoff single in the second inning, and then Palirulo reached on an air charge to Burris, covering at first base in the second inning. One down, nobody on. Following Henderson will be Ken Griffey. Burris ready, works to the line, and the pitch. A strike at the letters, no balls, and 1 strike to count to Ricky Henderson. Brewers got 2 in the bottom of the first. Molitor opened the inning with a single. Here's a 1-strike delivery. Strike 2 to Ricky. That one was called, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Randy Reddy followed with a single to center field. As Henderson was charging in, the ball went right through his legs, and behind him, Molitor scored all the way from first, and Reddy circled the bases to come in and score for the 2-0 lead. High, a ball, and 1-2 the count now to the right-handed hitting Ricky Henderson. Burris ready, he's a quick worker, and the pitch. Curve is wide, and 2-2 the count. Brewers catcher Charlie Moore checking with first base umpire Derwood Merrill to see if Henderson went around on that one, but he didn't. And the count is 2-2 to Ricky. Here's Burris now on a 2-2 delivery. Curve is swung on and hit high in the air to center field. This will be an easy play for Householder. He one-hands it, retiring Henderson for the second out of the Yankee third inning. Ken Griffey now. Griffey batting in the number 2 spot. And the third batter to come up in the inning. He bounced out to the second baseman in his first at bat and is 0 for 1 in the game. Well, nothing to report as yet on Pete Rose. 0 for 3 in the game against Lamar Hoyt. And the pitch. High, 1 ball, no strikes. I heard this afternoon there was not a seat available at Riverfront Stadium for the game tonight.
Well, I was surprised they had less than 30,000 there last night, John.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to Griffey. It's wide and 2 balls and no strikes. Don Mattingly will bat next.
Even though Pete Rose had announced he would not start last night's ball game, I would have thought more people than that would have been on hand in case he pinch hit and got it.
Here's the 2-0 delivery. Low and 3-0 the count. Well, Rose, everybody, I believe, knew that he was going to play in tonight's ball game. against the right-hander Lamar Hoyt. And so far, he is 0 for 3 in the game. 3 balls, no strikes to count to Griffey. Batting with 2 down and nobody on. And the Burris pitch. High, ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. And Don Mattingly will step in for the Yankees. First walk given up by the right-hander Burris.
First baseman, Don Mattingly.
Mattingly out on a fly to left his first at bat. He's 0 for 1 in the game. Coming into tonight's ball game, Mattingly and Henderson were tied for the top spot in the batting average department on the Yankees at .329 apiece. And they were also tied for the number 3 spot on the leaderboard in the American League behind Wade Boggs at .362 and George Brett at .343. Looks like Boggs is going to win that batting title for the second time in the last 3 years.
Really does. He's a good hitter. Or so is Brett. So are Mattingly and Henderson. But I think Boggs has a pretty good shot at it.
Here's the 1-0 delivery to Mattingly. Swings and fouls one to the Brewer dugout. And it'll be a ball and a strike to count to Don. Mattingly had 4 hits in the game last night. He was 4 for 6. Plus, he had a couple of RBIs.
Broke his bat on that foul ball.
And he'll go back to get a new piece of lumber. Well, a big 5-game homestand coming up at Yankee Stadium, Frank.
Well, it's all going to start on Thursday night against the Toronto Blue Jays and carry right through Monday afternoon against the Cleveland Indians. That New York-Cleveland game on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock is the makeup game. It is not on your schedule, but that will complete all the strike makeup games for the New York Yankees. They had 2 against the Indians postponed. One was made up in a doubleheader, and the other one will be made up on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Following that game, the Yankees will go to the den of the Tiger and the nest of the Oriole.
3-gamer with the Tigers and a 3-gamer with the Orioles. And the 6-game road trip coming up. The Yanks have a limited road schedule remaining in the month of September and the first week of October. A ball and a strike to Mattingly and a pitch. Hit sharply to second, scooped up nicely by Gantner. And over to Cooper to retire Mattingly and the Yankees in the third. No runs, no hits, and a man left. Griffey on the walk is left at first. The Yanks have stranded 3 in the game. And at the end of 2.5, Milwaukee 2 and New York nothing.
That's right. One of the biggest hits at Yankee Stadium these days is in the stands. Froze Fruit, the all-natural fruit bar, is now available. Well, the last report from Shea Stadium, still raining. I understand it rained quite a bit in New York throughout the day. Now they are playing again, Brian, right? The Mets have a 5-1 lead over the Cardinals as they battle for supremacy in the National League's Eastern Division. Howard Johnson had hit a grand slam home run in the first inning of that game. Right here, the Brewers lead the Yankees 2-0 as we go to the bottom half of the third.
All right, the leadoff batters for Milwaukee will be the number 9 hitter in the order, Ed Romero, in the first pitch to him a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Romero hitting at .261. He played last night and went 0 for 4. Takes another strike, a good-looking Whitson fastball, and it'll be 0-2 the count. The Cardinals and the Mets entered the night's play. Identical records, 82 and 58 on the year. Strike 3 call. Oh, that wasn't much of an at-bat for Ed Romero. 2 fastballs that he swung and missed on, and a third that he claims was outside, but Vic Valtaggio says that fastball caught the outside corner, and Romero's out. 3 strikeouts in the game for Ed Woodson. 2-0, Milwaukee leads. The Brewers got 2 runs on 1 play in the bottom half of the first inning. Molitor opened the inning with a base hit to left, and then Randy Reddy singled to center field. Henderson charging in. The ball went right through his legs for a 3-base error. Molitor scored easily from first base, and Randy Reddy came all the way around to score to make it a 2-0 game. Here's Molitor, and the first pitch to him is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Final game of the series tomorrow night. Joe Cowley against Ted Higuera. And the 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss, and it'll be 1-1. First look at the left-hander Higuera. He has not pitched against the Yankees as yet. He's a 12-game winner and very much in line for Rookie Pitcher of the Year honors. Swing and a miss, and 1-2 the count. He'll probably get some votes for Rookie Player of the Year. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Bounding ball past Whitson on the right side. Scooped up easily and very quickly by Hudler. And on to Mattingly at first for the out. I was chatting with George Bamberger, the Milwaukee manager, before the game tonight, asking him about Higuera. He says, you watch him now tomorrow night. He said he'll remind you a lot of Fernando Valenzuela. Doesn't throw the screwball as much as Fernando, but he likes to use the straight change. But he says he pitches a lot like Fernando. Right, here's the right-handed hitting ready. 1 for 1 in the game. Single to center, came around to score, and a 3-base error charge to Henderson. Here is the 1-0 delivery. It is a foul, backing out of play beyond the Milwaukee dugout to the right, and 1-1 the count.
I think every pitcher that comes out of Mexico throws the screwball, but I'm told Higuera has just about shelled his screwball. He is from Mexico, as is Fernando Valenzuela.
Whitson working quickly. Change-up, hit foul past Tony Muser, the third base coach of the Milwaukee Brewers. And it'll be a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Ready, swings. Whoops, one for a hit to right. Over Mattingly's head and down the line. Winfield in to play the ball quickly. The turn made by Reddy at first base, but he holds there. He's 2 for 2 in the night. Well, that was a handle hit if there ever was one. And kind of a dying quail down the right field line. So Reddy is on with 2 down, and here's Cecil Cooper, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Cooper 0 for 1, flied to left in his first at bat. 2 away and 1 on. The Brewers batting in the bottom half of the third inning. They lead in the game 2-0. Outfield straight away for the left-handed hitting Cooper. And the pitch. Low. 2-0 the count. Ted Simmons waiting to hit next. Well, the probables for the opening game of the Toronto series Thursday night at the stadium, 8 o'clock start time. Guidry against Steed. Here's the strike, and it is 2-1. Phil Niekro scheduled to go Friday night, Frank. Poor Nuxie. He's been out here to the clubhouse during this road trip for 3 days to Milwaukee. Foul backing out of play. Coming out as early as 2:30 in the afternoon, and just taking continual treatment, trying to get himself ready for that start on Friday night.
He's feeling much better. I talked to him last night. We walked through the hotel lobby and up the elevator together, and I asked him about Friday, and he said he felt like he would be able to start the game Friday night. There was some doubt after he pitched his last start, but he feels he will be able to.
Cooper fouls again out of play, and the count 2-2. Well, you know he'll do everything within his power, and he has been under the observation and treatment of trainers Gene Monahan and Mark Latown. Just getting himself ready. His back has been bothering him, his shoulder, his elbow. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Pop foul again. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, is he looking forward to Friday night, though? And an opportunity to become a 300-game winner.
He'll join an elite group.
Indeed he will. Including Tom Seaver, who has already made it to 300 this year. Here's a 2-2 pitch. It's foul, and it'll be out of play down the left field line. Griffey chasing, but no chance to get it. Man who brought his glove to the game, standing and just waiting for the ball to come right to him, and he made a one-handed grab. Sign him up. He didn't even have to move for that one. Whitson laboring here as he works to the left-handed hitting Cooper. He struck him out. A called third strike on the outside corner. And that's going to be all for Cooper and the Brewers here in the third. For Milwaukee, no runs a hit. A Randy Reddy 2-out single to right, and he's left at first base. And that's going to be all for Milwaukee here in the bottom half of the third inning. No runs, no hits, 1 hit and 1 man left at the end of 3. Brewers 2 and the Yankees nothing.
Coach, we're getting killed. Let me pitch.
I got it.
People Express would like us to use the time that's left in this commercial to talk baseball. From time to time, we offer a People Express salute to a player in the major leagues, not for what he does on the field, but what he does off the field. And tonight, since his name came up in conversation a moment ago, how about Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers? He started a program in just a couple of schools out in Los Angeles, the Be Smart, Stay in School program. It has grown from a handful of schools to over 54, with attendance improving significantly at all schools. Fernando himself visits the schools to speak to the kids and present Best Attendance Award. And along with the Dodgers, he hosts the children with the best records at a Dodgers game. Our People Express salute to Fernando Valenzuela. People Express, because they have no restrictions to talk about, we were able to talk baseball. And now let's take a 10-second Longines watch timeout on the New York Yankee Radio Network. Have you seen the exciting gold medal from Longines, the world's most honored watch? See it at Salini Jewelers in New Haven, Connecticut.
From Steve to Ricky.
The Toronto Blue Jays have scored a run in the bottom half of the sixth inning to tie the Tigers 1-1, and the Blue Jays are still at bat. We'll update it as soon as we receive it. Right here, Winfield leads off the fourth for the Yankees and takes a low slider, ball one. Winfield has the Yankees' only base hit off Burris, a single in the second inning. The wind by Burris and the pitch. Check swing and the pitch blown away. Winfield has hit 3 home runs here at County Stadium this year, including the one last night. The wind by Burris, the pitch coming. Strike call, it's 2-1. Burris laid a fastball over the inside part of the plate. Ron Hasse is on deck. Dan Pasqua to follow. Milwaukee leads 2-0. Right-hander Burris winds, hesitates, and pitches. Inside at Winfield's belt. 3-1. Bill White has joined us for the middle 3 innings. And, Bill, I don't recall Burris using that hesitation motion last time we saw it.
I don't think so either. Frankie tried to throw everything hard. Not only that, he threw fast. He didn't wait around and wait for a sign.
He pops Winfield up foul off the third base side. Plenty of room for Molitor. He makes the catch, 1 out. I just don't remember in Burris's career, that I've seen him pitch probably a dozen times or more, I just don't remember that hesitation. Almost a Luis Tiant type hesitation, although he doesn't spin his back around as much.
Well, he's a veteran. He'll probably do whatever he can to throw the batters off, especially the right-handers.
Well, so far tonight he's done a pretty good job of it.
He has that.
He's allowed 1 hit. He has walked 1 man, and 1 Yankee has reached on Burris' own error. He works to Hasse and comes in high, ball 1.
Well, Burris, of course, wants to pitch 9 because their bullpen gets banged around. The Brewer bullpen is in a lot of trouble.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hasse hits it high in the air, deep right field. It is way back, but playable. And Romero at the fence makes the catch. Hasse didn't quite get all of it. He hit it to the 362 marker, but right there, Romero at the wall hauled it in.
And the wind is blowing just slightly toward right field here at County Stadium, and that wind certainly did not hurt that ball going toward right.
There are 2 down, and Dan Pasqua will step in. Burris slipped a changeup across for a called strike 3 on Pasqua back in the second inning. So Danny is 0 for 1. Brewers lead 2-0. We're in the 4th. Breaking pitch is low, ball 1. The Yankees and the Brewers wind up the series tomorrow night. We'll have the game for you at 8:30. Joe Cowley pitches for the Yankees against left-hander Ted Higuera. Fastball high and away, 2 balls and no strikes. It'll be the first time I've ever seen Higuera pitch. Two-0 deal. Ripped foul outside of first. Two and 1. Updating elsewhere, the Mets and Cardinals are underway again at Shea after a rain delay in the top of the third. Delay came with the Mets leading 5-1. 2-1 pitch. Fastball just a bit inside. 3-1 now to Happy. Well, among the fans in attendance tonight, Jack Nicklaus and Jack Nicklaus Jr. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
An update in Toronto, Frank. 1-1. Tigers in the Blue Jays. Jack Morris and Doyle Alexander. What are you going to say about the Golden Bears?
Well, the Golden Bears here. He's playing in the Greater Milwaukee Open Golf Tournament. And Sue Jack, Sr. and Jr., and Gordon Crest, GMO president, are here. Fly ball well hit by Pasqua. That one is gone. That one clears out in right center field. Danny Pasqua has hit his 9th home run of the year, and the Yankees are on the scoreboard. Mentioned the Golden Bear, and Pasqua hits one out.
Hit it into the Brewer bullpen out in the right center between the 362 and the 392 sign. We can figure that ball went, about 375, 380 feet?
Well, yeah, at least. I'd say 380. Home run number 9 for Pasqua. Cuts the Brewer lead in half. It's Milwaukee 2, the Yankees 1. And Mike Pagliarulo will step in. Fouls one back just to our right. Remember, fans, with Danny Pasqua's home run, $50 will be contributed to United Cerebral Palsy by our friends at Realty World.
That's the 22nd home run Burris has given up this year. Danny Darwin has given up 33.
Pitch low and in. And it's a ball and a strike to Pagliarulo.
That's why he's won 7, lost 16 for the Brewers. 33 home runs.
A lot of home runs. He may have passed Rod Alexander. Alexander had given up a lot of home runs last time we heard. Another foul coming back right below us.
There were a couple of pitchers who used to give up a lot of home runs. One in the Hall of Fame, Robin Roberts.
Yes, I was going to say.
And the other who might make it, Fergie Jenkins. They would give up 40-some home runs a year, but most of them came with nobody on base.
Right? They didn't walk people.
No.
They believed in throwing strikes. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out on a high fastball. The Yankees get a run on Pasqua's homer, and at the end of 3.5, it's Milwaukee 2 and New York 1.
So we don't take medication. Limit. Breaking the barrier. Passing the parameter. Oh, and having a bigger dose of nothing. It'll make you.
WABC News.
Simmons grounded out to Hudler at second base in the first frame. And a breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Woodson working in a hurry, brings a fastball. It's foul back over our heads toward the upper deck.
There. Really good play by Pagliarulo, all things considered. He played the ball well, but had no chance to get Simmons.
Well, the Dodgers beat Atlanta 10-1 in the first of 2, and in the second game, the Dodgers 3, Atlanta 2 after 1.5. Dale Murphy hit his 35th home run in the second game.
Ernie Riles steps in, takes a low fastball, made no sign to bunt that time.
Montreal leading Philadelphia 2-0 after 5.5 innings in Philadelphia.
And the pitch. He takes it for a ball outside, 2-0.
Pittsburgh 2 to Chicago 1. That's the final. Rick Rushel is 11-7. How do you like that?
Well, he made a big comeback. They thought he was all through. 2-0 pitch. High fastball, 3-0. You know, Rushel signed a new contract just a couple of 3 weeks ago, 3 years ago.
Big comeback for him. San Diego 3, Cincinnati 1. Red batting in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And I don't believe he blows in the face this year.
Now, as soon as he gets it, or if he gets one, they update every at-bat on the sports ticker.
And finally,
He scored 2 runs in the first inning. Molitor opened the inning with a single to left. Randy Reddy lined a base hit to center field as tried to field the ball after it hit the ground. The ball went right through his legs, rolled well behind him, and both men scored. Molitor scoring from first, and Reddy circled the bases. It was a single and a three-base error charge to Rick. Ganner up there to bunt, pushes it down the third base line. That's going to be a base hit. Everybody is safe.
Well, they had Paliulo going back to cover third base. It was Whitson's job to cover the bunt. And Gantner bunted the ball just out of Whitson's reach. He tried to backhand the ball, couldn't. It got by him, and everybody's safe, as Frank mentioned. Bases loaded.
It's a base hit all the way for Gantner, and Paul Householder will step in with the bases loaded and nobody out. The Brewers are leading by a score of 2-1.
Pete Rose now 0 for 4 and remains tied with Ty Cobb, 4,191 base hits.
Householder pops it up on the infield. Infield fly rule is invoked. Meacham calls for the ball near the mound. Meacham makes the catch, and the runners hold. 1 out. Big break there.
Perfect chance, Frank, once again, to just, with the field as wet as it is, just back off and let that ball fall and see what happens. The batter's automatically out. Anybody else who would advance at their own risk. As Billy Martin goes out to the mound.
You know, Bill, on that play sometimes even a veteran player will become confused, I think.
Sure, somebody might run.
Yeah, a base runner.
You've got 3. I've seen it happen. That's why I keep mentioning it. But actually, it's a little tough to immediately recognize the situation. But sometimes you have to. That's, I think, thinking. You let that ball go up, and especially on I don't think you could do it on an artificial surface. The ball might bounce all the way up to the top of the whatever dome you're playing in. But here, it's been raining here for a few days. The ball obviously won't bounce that far. Just let it bounce, and somebody might make a mistake and try to advance. Especially in a situation like this where you have the bases loaded.
You would doubt that Simmons would, the lead runner at third. He got a rookie at second base. A veteran at first in Gantner. Riles, the rookie at second. Anyway, here we go after Billy Martin came out quickly, calling for a meeting. Charlie Moore, the batter. Yankees double play depth. Paliulo in, and the pitch. Fastball, a little bit low. Milwaukee is leading 2-1. They have the bases loaded, now 1 out.
I did that once right here in Milwaukee, in fact. Tried a basket catch, let it go through my hands. The ball almost hit me on the head.
Hard slider for a strike over the outside corner. It's a ball and a strike to Charlie Moore.
I knew I didn't have to catch it, and I'd seen Willie Mays make all these basket catches, right? So I'm going to do the same thing.
Probably the last time you ever tried to make a basket catch on a pop-up, too, huh?
Yep.
1-1 delivery. Ground ball, right side. The throw back to the plate. They tag him out. Hasse had to come off the base, but he tagged him out at the plate. Simmons is out on Mattingly's throw back to Hasse. No chance for a double play, but an alert play by Mattingly as he threw it right back to Hasse up the line a bit. Hasse had to leave the plate and could not get back to the plate for the force, but he just tagged Simmons out.
Heads-up play by Don Mattingly. He knew he couldn't make that 3-6 and 3 double play. He wanted to get the force. Unfortunately, he threw the ball up the line, almost got Hasse killed, but Ron got out of the way and just tagged Simmons as he came by. He's lucky Simmons doesn't run that well. And they got the put out. Big play.
Very big play. There are 2 down. And the batter will be Eddie Romero. Hard slider low and away. Nice play by Hasse again to come up with that ball and save a wild pitch. Now Riles is at third, Gantner at second, Moore at first. The set and the pitch. Taken low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Whitson takes a bit of a breather. Romero, right-hand hitter, was called out on strikes on 3 pitches in the 3rd inning. 2-0 delivery. Foul back. That's going to be out of play. 2-1. Milwaukee leads 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. An infield hit, a walk, and a bunt single, and loaded the bases. Householder popped up. Moore forced Simmons at the plate. Foul back to the right side, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of the 2 Brewer runs in the first inning, 1 is an earned run, 1 is unearned. The Yankees run a homer by Danny Pasqua. The set by Whitson, the pitch. High to Romero, 3-2. Now the runners will be off, with the exception of Riles, the lead runner at third. He's not going to run into the teeth of the cannon. He'll play it cozy, but the other 2 men will be going. Here's the pitch. Inside. He walked him and forced in a run. An inside fastball. Romero walks and Riles scores, and it is now 3-1 Milwaukee. Romero is credited with a run batted in. Whitson's second walk of the game, both of them coming here in the 4th inning. And now he's got a dangerous man to contend with in Paul Molitor, the leadoff hitter. He has singled and scored and grounded out to Hudler at second. Bases remain loaded, 2 outs. The set and the pitch. Low outside, ball 1. Whitson takes the side, comes set and pitches. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike. Big man for Whitson here. 1-1 deal. Foul back. 1-2. The Yankees with a 10-game winning streak. The Brewers with a 6-game losing streak. One and 2 on Molitor. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Whitson ready and pitches. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Brewers score 1 run on 2 base hits. There were no errors in Pasqua. Milwaukee leads 3-1. And Burris first pitch here to Hudler. It's high, ball 1. Hudler, a right-hand batter. Burris pitches, rocks foul into the Yankee dugout on the third base line. Came right in on his hands that time. One delivery. Blown outside. Check swing in time. Hudler is playing for Randolph, who has a slight leg injury. Hudler came into last night's game. 2-1 pitch. Bouncer, third base side, foul ball. Hudler runs well, Bill.
Runs very well. Got good speed.
Carries a good glove at second base.
Got to start hitting the curveball a little bit better. The major league curve, see?
Down in Columbus, he batted .250. High 2-2 on him as he ran that one out hard down to first base, but it was a foul ball. Widespread stance. Leans over the plate quite a bit. And the pitch from Burris. Hit in the air to shallow right center field. Back to second baseman and the center fielder. Householder, the center fielder, makes the catch. And Hudler is retired. 1 out here in the 5th. We have the Toronto pitchers for the series starting Thursday night. It'll be Dave Steve Thursday, Jim Clancy Friday, Jimmy Key Saturday, and Doyle Alexander Sunday. The Yankees will counter with Ron Guidry Friday, or rather Ron Guidry Thursday, Phil Niekro Friday, Marty Bystrom Saturday, and Ed Whitson Sunday. Breaking pitches in to Bobby Meacham. Bobby popped up his first at bat. One strike deal. High and a little bit inside. 1-1. Milwaukee leads 3-1. Burris brings it, and Meacham takes it high and outside this time. 2 balls and 1 strike. Veteran Burris ready to work and does. Hit back off his leg. Ball caroms to the shortstop Riles. He picks it up, throws out at first base. Shot hit Burris off the leg, bounced over to Riles, the shortstop, and Riles just nipped Meacham with a very strong throw. A 1-6-3 putout. And now the pitching coach, Herman Starrett, wants permission to make an injury visit to the mound, and now the trainer will also come out. And Burris says, hey, I'm all right. Y'all can go back.
Now the Blue Jays just picked up a run in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and they now lead the Tigers 2-1 at the end of 7.
Where are all these people that said the Blue Jays are going to fade down the stretch, Bill?
Well, we haven't gotten really to the stretch yet. I think after they play the Yankees of 4 and you get within probably 15 games or so, then we'll start looking at that stretch.
I got to think this is a pretty good stretch time right now. I don't think that club's going to fold up there under Cox.
Well, I don't know if they're going to fold or not, but we'll see what happens once it gets, close to the last 10, 12 ball games. If it stays within a game and a half, then that's really a stretch. I've been in at least one of those. A couple of them, really.
Yeah, I know you have. Henderson takes ball high after taking one low, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes to Rickey.
On the negative side against the Dodgers in '63, they came in and beat the Cardinals 3 or 4 straight games, all by 1 run.
Swing and a miss by Rick, but after a fastball, 2-1. Henderson is grounded out and flied out. The Brewers lead 3-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. The wind by Burris and the pitch to Henderson. On the outside corner, strike called, 2-2. The Yankees have managed only 2 hits so far, Burris. A single by Winfield and a home run by Pasqua. Burris rocks back, 2-2 to Henderson. Check swing, and it's outside. 3-2. Burris goes for the rosin. Now flips it down, looks in to Charlie Moore. Ken Griffey is on deck. The windup, the 3-2 to Henderson. Ball 4, low and outside. Henderson is on. The second walk given up by Burris in the game. He's now walked 2 and struck out 2 and allowed 2 hits. And Ken Griffey steps in. Cooper comes in to hold Henderson on down at first. Griffey is grounded out, and he drew the other walk given up by right-hander Burris. Throw to first base. Henderson was standing on the bag. The set. Rickey does not go, and the fastball is inside. Spins Griffey back. Ball 1. Burris at the belt and pitches. Swung on, grounded through the right side. That's a base hit into right field. Henderson makes the turn at second. On his way to third. Throw comes into the second baseman, Gantner, to hold Griffey at first. And the Yankees have runners on the corners.
And they have the fellow they want up there, Don Mattingly, 28 home runs, 120 runs batted in, 0 for 2 in the ball game. He might be due.
Mattingly had 4 hits in last night's ball game. He takes a couple of strong practice swings. Henderson at third, Griffey at first, 2 down. Mattingly tonight has flied to left and grounded to second. Dave Winfield moves on deck. Burris to Mattingly. High and inside. Ball 1.
He's not going to pitch Mattingly inside, let him swing at the ball. He's going to brush him back inside, keep the ball away from him to hope that the most he might get would be a single or left.
Pitch coming. Low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Mattingly right now batting .328. He has 180 base hits. 2-0 delivery. That one is thrown for a strike. 2-1. Cooper is holding Griffey on. The second baseman Gantner about midway in the hole between first and second. Shortstop Ryle shades well toward the bag at second base. 2-1 pitch. Lined out of right center field. That's going to be a gapper. That one may roll to the wall. Here comes Henderson in to score. Griffey being waved home. He's the tying run if they get him home, and he's home. And the Yankees have tied it 3-3.
Well, that Mattingly is something. You can't say enough about it.
2 base hit.
Ripped that ball into right center field. Actually, the sod out there being so soft held that ball up, kept it from going to the wall. Householder got to it and slipped down, and Griffey was able to score easily from first base. The ball game is tied.
Mattingly now has driven in 122 runs.
And we're going to get some action now in the Brewer bullpen.
That was Mattingly's league-leading 41st double.
And now has 122 runs batted in.
Breaking pitch low and away to Winfield. Ball 1. They'll get a right-hander up out there in the bullpen. So the Yankees, with 2 outs, have plated 2 runs here in the 5th.
Chuck Porter throwing.
Okay. Winfield takes a fastball for a strike. 1-1. Ron Hasse is on deck. Winfield tonight is 1 for 2. He is singled to left and popped up to the third baseman. We're tied at 3. The set by Burris. Right arm around the pitch. Taken inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mattingly walks off his lead at second. They're shaded well around to the left side for Winfield, with Gantner almost behind the bag at second. When he fouls it off to the right side. 2-2 count. The Yankees, trailing by a score of 3-1, have scored twice here in the 5th to tie the ball game. Mattingly driving in Henderson, who walked, and Griffey, who had singled. Two-two to Winfield. Low and outside, a breaking ball. 3-2. Mattingly again walks off his lead at second, keeping an eye on Gantner. The set by Burris, the pitch. Cut on and grounded foul. Picked neatly by third base coach Gene Michael.
Getting Gene in the clubhouse before the ball game, he was in front of the mirror practicing his swing. Put the bat down and go get your glove. He said he'd lost his glove. Evidently, somewhere along the year, he has lost his glove. Good glove man, heady ball player.
Yes,
Gene
he
Michael.
Really was. Again, a 3-2 pitch to Winfield. And he throws his bat and fouls it back. Mattingly will retrieve the bat for him. Gives it a flip toward the bat boy. Mattingly goes back to tag up at second base. So Oh, again, a pay pitch to Winfield. The Yankees have tied it 3-3 with a pair of runs here in the fifth. The set. The pitch. Ball 4, low and outside. A breaking ball. Winfield trots down to first base. And the Yankees have runners at first and second for Ron Hasse. Burris gives up his second walk of the inning and third of the game. Hasse tonight has flied to center and flied to right. Ray Burris gets a liberal amount of rosin on his pitching hand. They play Hasse to pull on the infield, straight up in the outfield. He hits one deep down the right field line. Fair or foul. It is a fair ball. Fair ball, home run, Hasse. Hit the foul pole. And the Yankees go out in front 6-3. A 3-run home run for Ron Hasse. Hit square off the foul pole. And Hasse has hammered one. Mattingly is in to score. Winfield is in to score. Hasse is in to score. And the Yankees now lead 6-3. Hasse's 11th home run. Square off the foul pole.
Well, Frank, I tell you, that ball hit on the as close to the foul line or the foul side of that foul pole as it could hit. It hit bounced in foul territory. And, of course, that counts.
Here's Danny Pasqua, and he takes a strike. Pasqua homered in the fourth inning. With Hasse's home run, another $50 will be donated to United Cerebral Palsy by our friends at Realty World. 0-1 to Pasqua. High foul, out of play on the left side.
That ball was hooking all the way. From where we are, we could we're looking almost right down the right field foul line, which is 315 feet away, with a pole probably up another, 50 feet or so?
Yeah.
And you could see it hooking.
He hit it so hard, though, it didn't have a chance to quite hook foul. A line shot. You're right, it was hooking. Inside, Pasqua away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Rose did not do it tonight. He went 0 for 4 and the ball game is over. Upstairs with an off-speed pitch.
Maybe 55 more will come out tomorrow night, see if you'll do it.
Oh, yeah. You know they will. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch to Pasqua. Swing and a miss on a change of pace. Struck him out. But the Yankees have taken the lead, scoring 5 runs on 3 base hits. No errors and nobody left. At the end of 4 1/2, it's New York 6, Milwaukee 3.
Once again, the matchup for the upcoming Toronto Blue Jays series. On Thursday, it'll be Ron Gidger against Dave Stieb. On Friday, Phil Niekro is scheduled against Jim Clancy. On Saturday, Marty Bystrom against Jimmy Key. And on Sunday, Ed Whitson scheduled to come back against Joel Alexander. So the Yankees, on the strength of the 3-run home run by Ron Hasse and the 2-run tying double by Don Mattingly, have taken a 6-3 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. As we play the bottom of the 6th.
Now the inning is over. The Yankees got 5.
The manager of the Milwaukee Brewers had a few words with Big Bull Casual.
I think he's a little upset about some balls that the Brewers didn't get on the walks to Henderson and also to Winfield. And he was indicating to Veltaggio those pitches were right there. How come they weren't called strikes? But again, I'm sure Bambi and the Brewers a little frustrated. They've lost 6 in a row.
Randy Reddy takes a curveball low and a fastball high. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Reddy, a right-handed batter.
Take a look at
2 against Whitson. Bottom of the 5th. Fastball is a called strike. It's a 2-1. Yankees 6 runs on 5 hits in error. The Brewers 3 runs on 5 hits. They've also made an error. Whitson rocks, deals a 2-1 pitch. Called strike 2. It's 2-2.
Michael's the dental.
Ready will be followed by the first baseman Cecil Cooper and the designated hitter Ted Simmons. Here's Whitson's 2-2 delivery. Line, base hit, left center field. Ready is 3 for 3. Drifts over quickly. He'll get the ball in, and Ready will hold it first with his 3rd single of the ball game. And that'll bring up Cecil Cooper, the first baseman. Cooper slides to left. He is struck out. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Base hit number 6 for the Brewers off Ed Whitson. Here's the set by Whitson and the pitch to Cooper. Line right to Hudler, and he holds onto the baseball as Ready dives back into first base. And there's one down. Hudler might have had a problem getting the ball out of the glove. Really scalded a line drive to him, about belt high, just to his glove side. And he caught it and held on to it as Ready dove back in the first. One down. Here's Ted Simmons. Hits one in the air straight away center. Coming on Henderson. Going back Hudler. Henderson calling, and the center fielder makes a play for the second out. And once again, Ready goes back to first base. And that'll bring up Ernest Riles, the shortstop. Riles has struck out, walked, and scored. Brewers took a 2-0 lead in the first inning. Molitor led off with a single to left. Then Ready ripped the single to center field on a 3-2 pitch. Molitor moving. He scored easily from first base, Molitor. And Ready circled the bases. Ball hit in the left center. Griffey on the run. He will not get to it. It'll go to the wall. Ready around second, digging for third. Around third, he'll score. And moving into second base with a stand-up double, Ernest Riles, and the Yankees now lead 6-4. So Riles hit one between Griffey and Henderson, driving in his 42nd run of the year, and moving the Brewers within 2, and bringing up Jim Gantner, the second baseman. Gantner is struck out and bunted for base hit. He's 1 for 2. Bottom of the 5th, Yankees now with 2 outs and a runner down at second base for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitch to Gantner is fouled back upon the screen. Yankees have Palirulo playing wide at third. Meacham straight away at short. Hudler shaded a bit toward second. And Mattingly's the first baseman. Griffey, Henderson, Winfield playing straight away in the outfield. The 0-1 pitch to Gantner, swung on and missed it. Snowballs, 2 strikes. Whitson looking in for sign. He checks Riles at second, and the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back against the screen this time. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. Yankees winners last night over the Brewers. Beat them 9-4 in 10 innings. Their 10th straight win of the year. And they're trying for number 11 here tonight. And they lead at 6-4, playing in the bottom half of the 5th. Whitson gets new ball, rubs it up. Now he sets at the belt. 0-2 pitch to Gantner. Fouled back, upper deck to our left and out of play.
No activity as yet in the Yankee bullpen. Whitson giving up a run here in this inning and now allowing 7 hits in the game.
Well, Billy has used quite a few relief pitchers. I'm sure he would like to give them all a day's rest. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Gantner goes down on strikes, and the side is retired. A run, 2 hits, a man left. Milwaukee 6-4.
$69 off peak or $114 peak with absolutely no restrictions. And because there are no kind of a quiz on announcers, questions that refer to Major League Baseball players who are currently announcers for one of the big league clubs. He was Hank Aaron's most frequent home run victim. Don Drysdale, who currently broadcasts for the Chicago White Sox. He originated the Ted Williams shift when he managed Cleveland. Lou Boudreau, who announces for the Chicago Cubs, hit a home run in his first major league at bat. Our own Bill White of the New York Yankees. See if we can get this one, Bill.
He had the first base hit ever in St. Louis's Busch Stadium. Mike Shannon of the St. Louis Cardinal broadcast team.
You mean the new stadium?
Yes, sir, the new stadium. Here's another one for you. He hit in 23 straight games to set a National League rookie record. Current broadcaster. Richie Ashburn with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Never would have gotten that.
No? All right.
Oh, Richie's a good buddy, too.
All right. People express their lives because they have no restrictions to talk about. We're able to talk baseball.
And Mike Pagliarulo leads off against Ray Burris, playing the top of the sixth. Yankees leading 6-4. The count is 1-0. The next pitch is on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Pagliarulo got on an error in the second inning and struck out in the fourth inning, so he's 0 for 2 in the game. Burris rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Mike Pagliarulo. We're at the bottom. So he's 0 for 2 in the game. Burris rocks and deals a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Mike Pagliarulo. We're at the bottom third of the Yankee batting order. Pagliarulo, Rex Hudler, and Bobby Meacham against the right-hander Ray Burris. They have not done any damage to Mr. Burris. Bottom 3 batters. They're 0 for 6. Breaking ball ripped to right field. It'll be a fair ball here right on the line. Pagliarulo around first going for 2. Romero gets the ball in, and Pagliarulo holds at second with a double.
The Yankees certainly are taking advantage of the foul line and foul pull for fair balls here tonight.
The foul lines here, I believe, are old fire hoses. And they nail them down and then paint them with white lime. And that ball hit right on top of the line and went back into the corner. Now Herm Sterrett, the pitching coach for the Brewers, out. Nobody's getting loose. Yep, there is a right-hander throwing in the Brewer bullpen. He just got up.
They had Porter up earlier. I don't know if that is him again. Let's see if we can check with the glasses. Bullpens are out in right center field here at County Stadium. The Yankee bullpen is even farther away than the Milwaukee bullpen.
Well, they're giving the sign that the right-hander is ready. Whoever's out there just took the cap off, but Sterrett is going to go back, and they're going to go with Burris. Of course, they probably expect Hudler to attempt to move Pagliarulo to third base with a bunt.
And that is Chuck Porter again.
The third baseman Molitor and the first baseman Cooper way in on the cut of the infield here in Milwaukee, looking for the bunt as Burris looks in for sign. Pagliarulo moving off second. Here's a set by Burris. And the pitch to Hudler. He squares, bunts off first base. Good bunt. Cooper will pick it up. And he'll go on throw the first base as Hudler started back toward the plate. So the put out 3-4 with the second baseman Gantner covering. And Hudler has done his job. He's moved Pagliarulo to third base with just one away. Yankee squeeze last night, John Gordon?
Yes, sir. And very successfully done by Bobby Meacham in the 10th inning. Got a big run across for the Yanks, and Meach reached base safely on an error charge to pitcher Ray Searage and came around to score.
Well, Meacham's up now with Pagliarulo at third base and 1 down in the 6th. Yankees leading by 2. Meacham has popped to third and bounced back off the pitcher Burris's leg, picked up by the shortstop Giles, and he threw Meacham out his last time up in the 5th inning. So now time is called. Burris again wants to talk to Molitor. And they're probably talking about the squeeze with the Brewer infield in. Molitor, Riles, the shortstop, Gantner, the second baseman, Cooper, the first baseman. Wind blowing a bit harder toward right field now as Burris settles in on the mound, looking for a sign from Charlie Moore. Now he sets. And the pitch to Meacham, taken high, ball 1. Yankees 6, the Brewers 4. We're the top of the 6th. Mike Pagliarulo at third base, 1 down. Here's a set. 1-0 pitch to Meacham. And that's a called strike. It's 1-1. Burris has that slight hesitation as he lifts his left leg, which tends to freeze the runner at third base, Mike Pagliarulo. As Meacham backs out, looks at Gene Michael. Pag is also looking at the Yankee third base coach. Here's the set. And the 1-1 pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike.
And Toronto beats Detroit 2-1. They were out hit 7-6, but they won the game 2-1. So the Yanks have to hang on for a victory here to remain a game and a half behind Toronto.
Joel Alexander over Jack Morris.
Yes.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Foul. That'll make the seats just behind the Yankee dugout off third base. 2-2 on Meacham. On deck is Ricky Henderson. Burris gets a new baseball from home plate umpire Vic Voltaggio. Voltaggio behind the plate. Durwood Merrill at first. Jim McKean at second. And Marty Springstead, the crew chief, umpiring over third. Now Burris sets. Check Pags at third base. The 2-2 to Meacham. Wide ball. 3-2. Bobby Meacham, a switch hitter in left-handed against Ray Burris. What do you think of a 3-2 squeeze with one away?
Yeah, I think it's pretty tough.
Here's a pitch, and it's ball 4 inside. Meacham walks. So the Yankees have runners at first and third with the one away, and the batter is Ricky Henderson.
I think you're just taking too much of a gamble on a ball pitch, and they got the guy dead from third base. But then again, you're thinking that pitcher doesn't want to walk that guy and doesn't want to walk the number 9 hitter in the order, right?
But he just walked him.
Yeah, he did.
And runners at first and third now, 1 down. Here's Ricky Henderson. Fly to center, walked and scored. He scored on Mattingly's 2-run double in the 5th inning that tied the ball game for the Yankees at 3. Then Ron Hasse hit the foul pole down the right field line, 315 feet away. A 3-run home run. There goes Meacham, bounced towards second base. Dug out by Gantner, throws home, and not in time. Pagliarulo scores, and the Yankees now lead 7-4. Gantner could have made it out easily because at first base because Meacham was on the run with a pitch. And a slow ground ball to Gantner. Made a bad play, came home. Pagliarulo scored easily. Meacham down at second base. That'll be a fielder's choice and a run batted in for Ricky Henderson. And the Yankees now lead 7-4.
They have to question Gantner trying to come home. If he was going to come home, he had to make the move right away, charge the ball, and try to come to the plate. He might have had a play on Pagliarulo, but as it stood, he waited for the ball, and it really appeared the only play he had for the out was at first.
Well, here's Ken Griffey now. Runners at first and second with one away. Griffey's bounced out, walked, and single to right and scored. Burris sets, and the pitch. Breaking ball. Gets the outside corner, strike 1. Porter, the right-hander, is still loosening up in the Brewer bullpen, located almost straight away center field. Here's the 0-1 to Griffey. Curveball low, taken. It's 1-1. On deck is Don Mattingly.
Yankees have 2 of their better base runners. And right now, Meacham at second and Henderson at first. I doubt Bobby or Billy will try to run Bobby and Ricky, though, simply because of the left-handed hitters.
Well, he's got Griffey and then Mattingly. Deep to right field. Going back is Romero. That ball is gone. Ken Griffey has just hit his 7th home run of the year. He drives in Meacham, Henderson, and then Griffey. And the Yankees now lead 10-4.
Didn't need to run him, did he?
No. They walked him.
Yep. All right, outcoming George Bamberger. And that's going to be all for the right-hander Burris. The Yankees have built the 6-run lead now on the Griffey home run, the 3rd homer of the game for the Yankees, and the 5th of this series. And there's a break in the action with a score. The Yankees 10, the Brewers 4.
Seth Porter pitching to Don Mattingly. The first pitch to Mattingly is down low, ball 1. Porter, right-hander, and the 1-0 pitch to Mattingly. That's a strike. It's 1-1. Mattingly's flied to left, grounded to second, and doubled in 2 runs. He now has 122 runs batted in for the Yankees. That double in the 5th inning tied the ball game at 3. 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground up the middle. Right there, Nelson. Pasco with a solo home run. That made it a 2-1 early. Then Hasse with a 3-run home run made it 7-4 in the 5th inning. And Ken Griffey a 3-run home run here in the 6th. It's 10-4 Yankees as Dave Winfield steps in. Pitch to Winfield. Slider gets the outside corner for strike. Winfield is singled, fouled out, walked, and scored. The walk certainly hurt Ray Burris.
Boy, did they ever.
Swing, and the bat is out of Winfield's hands, and Hasse has to get out of the on-deck circle. It's 0-2.
He walked Henderson in the 5th inning with 2 down and nobody on. And Griffey got the base hit to send him to 3rd, and then Mattingly delivered a clutch double. And then he walked Winfield, and Hasse followed with a foul pole home run.
And he walked Meacham here in the 6th. Actually, he has walked 4. He walked 4, and 3 of them scored.
Yeah, the only walk that did not score was a walk to Griffey back in the 3rd inning.
So the count is 0-2 on Winfield with 2 outs and nobody on. We're playing the top of the 6th. The Yankees scored 4 times and lead 10-4. The pitch. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Winfield.
Burris worked 5 in the 3rd inning, 7 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned. He walked 4 and he struck.
New left fielder for the Yankees, Henry Cotto. Yankees 10, Brewers 4, playing in the 6th. Bounced foul outside of first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Householder.
Chicago leading Minnesota 3-2 at the end of 6. 5-11 against Davis. Ron Kittle is numbered in the game for the White Sox, his 16th of the year. The probables for the Kansas City, California game. And now it's official. It'll be Charlie Lebrand against Kirk McCaskill. Cleveland at Seattle, Jamie Easterly against Frank Wills. Mariners beat the Indians last night 8-7 in 12 innings.
1-2 to Householder's high. It's 2-2. Householder's flied to left and popped to short. He's 0 for 2. Batting at .235. Rick Manning sideline with a hamstring pull. Fastball is low to Householder. Ball 3.
Texas and Oakland, the Rangers have lost 9 straight. Jose Guzman against Chris Cotteroli, and that game at Oakland.
Here's the payoff pitch to Householder. Hit in the air, right field. Winfield going back, still going. Just shy of the warning track, stops and makes the catch for the first out.
Tommy Hers homered for the Cardinals, and St. Louis has scored 2 runs and still batting in the 7th inning, and it's now 5-4. Ricky Horton is in for the Cardinals, and Roger McDowell in for the Mets. Howard Johnson hit an earlier grand slam. And the Mets led in that game 5-1 after 1 inning of play. But now it's 5-4.
Here's Charlie Moore. Moore's bounced to first and forced the runner. Rips one in the right center field. And Winfield dives, cannot make the catch. It'll bounce off Winfield's glove, go toward center field, picked up by Henderson. He'll get the ball in. Charlie Moore has a double. Winfield had a shot at that ball. He dove in right center field. Somehow the ball kicked off his glove, bounced into center field. By the time Henderson picked it up, Moore was in at second base with a double.
Well, the Dodgers won the first of 2 against Atlanta, 10-1. Honeycutt the winner, and Pascual Perez, who is 1-10, the loser. No homers in a game that Los Angeles won 10-1. Second game, Atlanta leading Los Angeles 4-3 at the end of 4 innings of play. Len Matuszak is homered for the Dodgers. Dale Murphy has hit his 35th.
Romero hits 1-on-1 hop to the second baseman Hudler. He'll throw Romero out. Moving to third base is Charlie Moore. And there are 2 outs.
Batting in the bottom of the 9th, the Phillies. In a 2-2 tie game with Montreal, Tim Wallach and Mitch Webster have homered in the game for the Montreal Expos. Pittsburgh beat Chicago 2-1 at Three Rivers tonight. Rick Russell won his 12th game against 7 losses. Steve Engel, the loser. And San Diego beat Cincinnati 3-2. It was Lamar Hoyt over Ron Robinson. Buddy Bell homered for the Reds. And Pete Rose went 0 for 4 in the game. 51,045 at Riverfront. Houston is leading San Francisco 4-1 at the end of 7.5.
Here's Paul Molitor, and he takes a strike. Molitor 1 for 3 in the ball game, a first inning single and a run scored.
Opening game of the Governor's Cup Final Series with Tidewater and Columbus. Tidewater won it 8-0, a 5-hitter by Bill Fultz.
Sliders wide to Molitor, 1-1. More third, 2 outs. Yankees leading 10-4. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Whitson's 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Molitor.
And the Yankee scoreboard has been brought to you by Members Only. That's the brand that's changing the way America looks.
1-2. Cotto in left, Henderson in center, Winfield out in right. Here's the wind, the 1-2 pitch. Foul off to the right in the upper deck. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Paul Molitor, batting at .301, 8 home runs this year, 40 runs batted in. Brewers playing shorthanded. Robin Yount, sore shoulder, operation. Pete Vukovich, operation. Catcher Bill Schroeder, an operation on his elbow. 1-2 pitch, fouled off down the right side.
Yeah, they announced Vukovich's operation today. And they're, I think, going to announce tomorrow Schroeder's operation, although George Bamberger said before the game tonight that he will be operated on.
The 1-2 to Molitor. Sidearm curve high, 2-2. Ben Ogilvy also hurt for the Brewers. Whitson's 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground through the middle. It'll go back over second base in the center field. Base hit for Molitor. More scores. Yankees now lead 10-5. Molitor's 41st run batted into the year. And here's Randy Reddy, 3 for 3. He has single to center, single to right, single to left. And he has scored 2 runs for the Brewers. Two outs. And the pitch to Reddy is foul down the right side. It was sliced back in the seats and out of play. No balls and a strike. Whitson has a new baseball. Looks in and sets and deals. High. Reddy goes down. It's 1-1.
Yankees bidding for their 11th win in a row, Bill. If they get it, it'll be the first time they've had an 11-game win streak since 1964, again in September. And the Yankees hold the record for the longest win streak in the American League, 18.
Pitch to Reddy.
Yeah, now to Dan Pasqua. Home run for Griffey was his Pasqua.
Was walks by Haas that got the Yankees back in the ball game last night.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Just inside. 2-2 the count.
7th inning last night. Haas had not issued a walk, but he walked Henderson and Griffey back-to-back. And before the inning was over, both men had scored. Brought the Yankees right back in that ball game.
And the Yanks won in extra innings last night, 9-4. Swing and a miss, low breaking pitch. Pasqua retired on a strikeout. The second of the game for reliever Chuck Porter. And it'll be the 5th of the game for the Milwaukee pitchers. Burris, the starter, had struck out 3. And now here is the left-handed hitting Mike Pagliarulo. Pags has a double in 3 trips. He reached in an air, charged to the pitcher covering at first in the 2nd inning. He struck out in the 4th, and he doubled down the right field line and came in to score on a Ricky Henderson fielder's choice. He shoots one to left, but it'll be caught by Randy Reddy. He went back, waited, and then came on to make the grab. That's the 3rd out of the inning, and the Brewers' Chuck Porter has retired 5 in a row in his relief stint for New York as they go quickly and quietly in the 7th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Everybody up here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Take me out to the ball game time. The Yankees 10 and the Brewers 6.
77 WABC.
New York Life underwriter.
All right, we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ed Whitson's still in there. I would think that Billy Martin will try to go as far as he can with Whitson. And the leadoff batter for the Brewers is Ted Simmons. He gets a foul on the screen for a strike. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike.
especially last night. The Yankees using 3 pitchers out of the bullpen. And the game before, the Sunday game at Yankee Stadium against Oakland, the Yanks used 4 pitchers out of the bullpen in that game.
No, you're right. He'll go as far as he possibly. Woodson.
Here's the 1-1 delivery, a pop-up in the infield. It's going to be first baseman Mattingly coming in, and Paliarulo. Oh, boy, who caught it? Paliarulo.
Paliarulo caught it. They almost collided head-on.
And they caught it about, I'm going to say 30 feet out in front of home plate, about right halfway between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
There's a play where the pitcher has to direct traffic. He has to keep those men apart. That could have been a very serious collision because both men were running as hard as they could. And I don't see how they avoided each other. I just held my breath. I thought they were going to go head on right there. But at the last fraction of an instant, Mattingly evidently heard or saw Pags and spun away.
Wow, that was close.
Too close.
Yes, here's Ernest Riles now, the left-handed hitting shortstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a line drive foul down the third baseline and out of play, and it'll be a ball, no strikes. Frank, I'm sure some fans might be thinking right now, what about Jim Deshaies, Mike Armstrong, Dennis Rasmussen, pitchers who have not pitched in a game as yet, but are up from the Columbus Club, are well rested, and the possibility of using them. I think perhaps Billy's thoughts are right now the lead is not big enough. At 10-6 in a ball game here, if Whitson does happen to lose it and cannot continue, he'll have to go with one of the stalwarts of the bullpen.
I would think so.
You'd like to have a 10-1 lead or a 12-2 lead, and then you might be able to have the opportunity. And not that Rasmussen and Armstrong and Deshaies are not don't have the ability to pitch in a game because they have pitched in the big leagues before. Here's the 1-2 delivery. It's high. It's just that in a pennant drive and knowing that Toronto has won their game, you got to go with what you have as far as your best is concerned out of the starting rotation and out of the bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing and a foul out of play, and it'll be 2-2 still to the left-handed hitting Riles.
Well, the Yankees have a 5-game homestand beginning Thursday night. With Toronto, and that ends with Cleveland on Monday afternoon to make that game 2 o'clock at Yankee Stadium. The Tribe will be in.
Whitson has pitched 2 complete games this year. This is his 28th start. Riles, 2 down in the Milwaukee 7th, and the batter's going to be Jimmy Kent. Has a little infield single on the left side. He nubbed one past Ed Whitson. And a pitch to Gantner. Swinging a foul, backing out of play. And 2 strikes to count. You know, you were just talking about that 5-game series opening up. Yankees playing Toronto starting Thursday night, and Ron Guidry's scheduled to pitch. I don't guess. I thought maybe that Guidry might have an opportunity. Here's the 2-strike delivery, a foul backing out of play. Pitched that Monday game against Cleveland, but that would be only the 4th day. Probably Joe Collier pitched that. Guidry would have an opportunity if he wins on Thursday in his next start to go for his 20th win.
And that would be in Detroit.
You're right. He'll pitch the Tuesday night game against the Tigers at Detroit. 2-strike delivery. Line, center field, base hit. Now, Whitson has had only 1 1-2-3 inning in the game, and that was back in the 2nd. Gantner is on with hit number 11 off of Ed Whitson.
Daniel Hoffer, report to the Brewer office. Daniel Hoffer.
Gantner has 2 hits. Reddy has 4. 2 for Paul Molitor, and then 1 each for Simmons, Riles, and Charlie Moore. Here's Householder, and the pitch to him, swung on and hit deep to right field. Back is Winfield. He won't get this one. 2-run homer for Householder. The Brewers are right back into the game, and it's a 10-8 score. Householder with his 5th home run. 12 hits in the game now for the Milwaukee Brewers. Gantner comes around to score in front of Householder. That was nothing more than just a line drive homer that made it to the seats in right.
Well, that's what I said a while ago, John. You got a strange feeling about a ball game like this. The Brewers will not roll over. They keep fighting back, fighting back. They did it on their last road trip out in Kansas City. You see, they were way down in a ball game out there, but they came right back. They tied it up, sent the ball game at extra innings. They did lose it, but they have not quit in a ball game. Rich Bordy starts throwing quickly in the Yankee bullpen.
All right, Milwaukee now has scored in the last 4 innings. A run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 here in the 7th. And all of a sudden, it's a 10-8 game. And the Brewers have the tying run in the on-deck circle. Whitson trying to get the 3rd out here in the 7th inning. A foul down the right field line and out of play. It'll be a ball and a strike. Moore has a double in 3 trips to the plate tonight. Yankees 10 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. And the Brewers 8 runs, 12 hits, and they have 1 error. Swing and a miss and a 1-2 count. Whitson firing that fastball. And he just blew that one right by Charlie Moore.
The last 6 Brewer runs in the ballgame, John, scored after 2 men were out.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Just a little bit low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Yankees lead at 10-8. 2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the line by the right-hander Whitson in the pitch. Strike 3 call. Charlie Moore knew it. Oh, Ed Whitson with a slider on the outside corner. Was that ever a dandy pitch? And Charlie Moore looked at it. He knew it. That'll be strikeout number 7 in the game for Ed Whitson. And that's all for the Brewers here in the 7th, but they still continue to creep back into the game. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2-run homer by Householder, the big blow. Nobody left on. Now through 7 innings of play. Yankees 10 and the Brewers 8.
We're here with Ed Lieber, who runs another one of those unusual.
All right, Rex Hudler will lead off for the Yankees here in the top half of the 8th inning. Win this one, it'll be back to a game and a half. I think that one hit little Bobby Horvath's microphone out there. Is it all right?
Now, the Yanks are going to be home. Here are the September and October dates. September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. And October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
And they'll play Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, Baltimore, and Milwaukee. Line drive and a base hit to center field. Stopping at second will be Rex Hudler. Bobby Meacham is on with his first base hit of this series. He's now 1 for 7. A solid shot line drive single. Here's Ricky Henderson. He's the only Yankee without a hit thus far in the game. And only one Yankee has 2 hits. That's Ken Griffey, who has a single and a homer.
And no longer in the game.
Right. Henry Cotto's in the on-deck circle now. In the 8th, the Yanks batting with nobody out and 2 on. Ricky Henderson, the batter for the Yankees. Some will be asking the question, will Ricky Henderson be bunting here? Possibility of Ricky trying to drop one down to get the runners ahead. And now Porter wants to talk to his catcher, Charlie Moore. I tell you, Frank, in a pennant race, you just got to do everything you need to do to win a ball game.
Well, you really do.
And if it's called on for Ricky to drop the bunt down here, he'll try to do it.
I'll say this is only Porter's 2nd game with the Brewers this year, and he may have been a little confused on the signs now with the runner out there at second base.
Left-hander joining Danny Darwin in the bullpen, Rick Waits. Here's the set to look. 2 runners on in a pitch. Henderson showing no signs of bunting and taking a strike. No balls and 1 strike. We were talking just the other day about Don Baylor bunting in a ball game. I think he said, what, only the 18th or 19th time in his entire career.
16 or 18, yeah.
Right. That he's dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Here's the set to look and the pitch. It's a slow curve, and it's inside. It's a ball and a strike. Well, the Mets hung on and beat the Cardinals 5-4, scoring 5 in the first. And they withstood a couple of Cardinal rallies. So the Mets are in first in the National League East, a game ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis is dropping off into a little bit of a tailspin. Cardinals have now lost 4 in a row. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It is a strike on the outside corner, a curve across, and it's 1-2 to Ricky Henderson.
I think Whitey Herzog taking note of the fact that his club just isn't hitting it all right now. He said, in effect, he would welcome a couple of rainouts, I think. He said something had to happen.
Now, they're hopefully getting Jack Clark back soon. I don't know if he's back as yet or not. He's expected back soon. But they certainly have missed his big bat.
Actually, what Whitey said was maybe Hurricane Elena will come back to the East Coast. But I know that all the devastation and all the misery that caused, he was saying it's really tongue-in-cheek, of course. But he did. He was taking note of the fact that his team is just not hitting and not playing that well right now.
2 on, nobody out. And here's a pitch to Henderson. A bouncing ball fair down the third base line. This will get a couple of runs. At least 1 in. Probably Meacham being... No, he's going to be held at third. He ran right through a stop sign. Throw to the plate. Meacham is safe as he knocks the ball out of the hands of Charlie Moore. Henderson circles third base and holds there. The Yankees get 2 runs in. And now lead 12-8. Bobby Meacham ran right through Gene Michael's stop sign at third base. And the Yanks get a pair of runs to add to their lead. It's now 12-8. Meacham crashed into Charlie Moore just as Moore took the throw from Molitor and jarred the ball loose from Charlie Moore, and Meacham is in safely. That'll be a double for Henderson. Now we'll wait for a scoring ruling on the RBIs. 1 for sure to score Hudler. Now whether or not Meacham gets across on an RBI for Henderson or an error charged to Moore, we'll wait to see.
There's been no announcement of it. I don't think they'll give Moore an error on that.
I would doubt that they would, too. And the batter now is Henry Cotto, and the first pitch to Henry is low for a ball, 1 ball to no strikes.
Stick Michael was waving Meacham on all the way, and then I think Meacham was just going too hard. I don't think he could stunt.
I think the only announcement they make is that Henderson goes to third base on the throw at the plate, and now they have charged Moore with an error, so there's no RBI on the second run of the inning. A hit and an RBI for Ricky Henderson.
They might just charge the error on Henderson going on to third base now.
That's what they're doing?
Yeah, I think he'll get 2 RBIs.
All right, we'll change that then and give Ricky a couple of RBIs on the 2-bagger. Infield is in. Here's the pitch to Cotto. He lines one foul down the left field line and out of play. And it'll be a 1-2 count.
I always feel that's a tough error for a catcher, a bang-bang play like that with a runner coming in just as the ball gets in.
Hudler has scored, Meacham has scored, and Henderson is at third with nobody down. And the Yanks now with 10 hits in the game. And everybody in the order has a base hit, with the exception of Henry Cotto, who is batting for just the first time in the game. Down low a ball, 2-2 the count. Well, with left-handed hitting Mattingly due up next. Waits, the left-hander, continues to warm in the Milwaukee bullpen. This may be...
Well, the veteran left-hander Rick Waits is now on the pitch for the Milwaukee Brewers. Waits is making his 20th appearance, all in relief. He's pitched 42 innings, allowed 53 hits, walked 17, struck out 22. A 1-loss record of 3 wins and 2 losses, 1 save, an earned run average of 5.40. Rick Waits, at one time, quite a Yankee killer as a starting pitcher. But now his lifetime mark against New York is 9-12. There was a string of 2 or 3 years there. All Waits had to do was was walk out there and pick up a win. That was during his tenure with the Cleveland Indians. So he's ready to pitch here to Mattingly. Still nobody out, and Yankee runners at first and third, John.
All right, and Mattingly having a big night. He's 1 for 4. But his base hit was a key base hit. It tied the game at 3-3. It's a double play ball to second. It's Riles to Gander. Throw to first, and they don't get Mattingly. Beat it out. So the run scores. Mattingly gets an RBI. That's an important ribby for Don Mattingly, his third of the night. In to score is Ricky Henderson with the Yankees' 13th run of the game. And Mattingly beating out the double play relay. Gantner to Cooper picks up an RBI, his third of the night, and his 123rd of the year.
Mattingly plays with such intensity, I think he's running harder than he can really run.
Probably so.
He really got down there, and big hurry as far for Mattingly. He did not run that well before the operation. Boy, some kind of hustle.
All right, here's Waits to Winfield, and a strike and a curve. No balls in one strike.
Gave Mattingly his 123rd RBI.
And also Ricky Henderson scoring for the third time in the game, and he now has 123 runs scored.
They're going hand in hand.
Boy, they really are. It's amazing. Here is the one-strike delivery. It's down low for a ball, and it'll be a ball and a strike to Winfield. Now, Winnie has a hit tonight, a single back in the second inning. It was the first hit of the game for the Yankees. Yankees have 13 runs and 10 hits. But they have taken advantage of 5 Milwaukee walks. Winfield swings. It's about to short. This could be 2. Gantner for 1. Relay. That's a double play. 6-4-3. And that's going to be all for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. For the Yanks, they come up with 3 additional runs. There was 1 error and nobody left on. Now, at the end of 7.5 innings of play, the Yankees 13 and the Brewers 8. Styles, colors, and fabric combinations, and have everyone asking for members-only outerwear and sportswear. Rich Bordy has come out to pitch for the Yankees, replacing Ed Whitson. So Whitson will work 7 innings in the game. He gave up 12 hits and 8 runs. He walked 2 and he struck out 7. And Bordy is on in relief. Bordy pitched Sunday, but he did not pitch yesterday. In the National League, the Mets hung on and beat the Cardinals 5-4. Darling over Cox, a save for McDowell, his 13th. Darling is 15-5. Howard Johnson had a grand slam in the first inning, staking the Mets to a 5-1 lead. And they held on to win at 5-4. Looks like the Dodgers are going to win a doubleheader here, Frank. They won the first game 10-1. They just scored 5 on a grand slam by Greg Brock in the 7th inning, and now lead 9-4 over Atlanta in the second game.
Wow. Bordy's first pitch is strike to Romero. Second pitch is inside at the shoulders, and it's 1-1. Usually a team scores that many runs in the first game of a doubleheader. They're lucky to scratch out 1 or 2 in the second game.
You're right.
1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Bordy, as you mentioned, John, pitched Sunday, only faced 3 men. So he did not break much of a sweat. This is only his second outing since his very, very important start against Seattle that he won. 1-2 pitch coming here to Romero. Swing and a foul back off Hasse. That one bit him. Hasse is shaken up by it.
Mike Schmidt had a home run in the bottom of the 11th inning, a 3-run homer. And Philadelphia beat Montreal 5-2. Pittsburgh beat Chicago 2-1. Rushill over Engel. San Diego beat Cincinnati. Pete Rose 0-4. Houston beat San Francisco 4-1. Nepper over Krukow. Chris Brown at a homer is 15th for the Giants.
Bordy with a 1-2 pitch to the right-hand batting Romero. Low and outside, and it's 2-2.
Pittsburgh had only 3,100 tonight. American League, Oakland scored 3 off of Jose Guzman in the second inning and leading the Rangers 3-0 at the end of 2.
Foul straight back.
Other partials in the American League, Cleveland, Seattle, no score after 2. Kansas City 1-0 over California at the end of 3. That's Lee Brandt against McCaskill. And the Royals lead is just a half a game in the American League West.
2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Henderson coming on for it. He's there and makes the catch. 1 out. The Yankees are leading by a score of 13-8. 13 runs, not the most the Yankees have scored in a game this year, twice. This year they've scored 14 times. I think on 2 or 3 other occasions they've had 13 runs in a game. Paul Molitor, the batter, is 2 for 4. He scored twice and driven in a run. Molitor, right-hand batter. Swing and a miss, strike one.
A couple of finals just being posted on Sports Sticker. Chicago's beaten Minnesota 7-2. And the second game of the doubleheader, the Red Sox have beaten the Orioles 5-3. Larry Sheets hit a 2-run homer.
Boy, Hasse goes down from a foul ball, and he is really shaken this time. Here comes trainer Gene Monahan and manager Billy Martin. Hasse bounces right back up again. Boy, he has taken a beating in this ball game. That one hit him flush off the mask, and he went down.
It appears he's going to be all right. Vic Beltagio, the plate umpire, had called Hasse. When he saw Hasse go down, called Gene Monahan, the Yankee trainer, out immediately. And Billy Martin also came trotting out.
Hasse's okay. He's shaken, but he's all right. He's going to stay in there.
Larry Sheets had hit a home run in the 9th inning with 1 on. But Boston held on and beat Baltimore in that second game 5-3. Orioles won the opener 7-5.
0-2 pitch hit in the air to right field. Not too deep. Winfield cruising to his right. He's under it. Makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
And, of course, the score that concerns all the Yankee fans. Toronto scored single runs in the 6th and 7th innings. And in a real pitcher's duel, Doyle Alexander against Jack Morris, they both went all the way. Alexander won his 15th game against 8 defeats, beating Jack Morris, who is now 14-10. 14-10 on the year. 7 hits in the game for the Tigers, 6 in the game for the Blue Jays. 2-1 Toronto wins. I tell you, those Blue Jays, they're playing outstanding baseball. They've now won 8 of their last 11 games. And the Yankees, with a victory here tonight, would, of course, won 11 of their last 11 games. So they gained just a game and a half, winning 11 in a row.
Randy Reddy, 4 for 4. Checks his swing and takes a pitch low. After the first pitch was a strike, it's 1-1.
Excuse me, 3 games after winning 11 in a row.
Reddy has 4 singles. Right-hand batter swings, and Hasse gets another one. And again, he is staggered by it. Foul ball. 1-2 the count.
He's going to sit in a hot tub at the hotel tonight with Epsom salts, right?
Well, I'll tell you, Ronnie has taken a beating down there. No question about it. They're waving the white towels at him from the dugout.
It was no secret Steve Young was trying to be in the United States Football League of the NFL. Today, he successfully made the jump.
He falls down and can't make a throw. It'll be a base hit, and Reddy is 5 for 5. That was a shot. Tiggs made a great play deep behind third. He had the ball on a hard hop, spun around, and as he tried to set himself for the throw, his feet went right out from under him in the wet dirt, and he went down on his right knee and could not make a throw. A base hit for Reddy, his 5th of the ball game. First hit off Bordy, and number 13 for the Brewers. The Yankees are leading 13-8. And that brings up Cecil Cooper, who is 0 for 4 tonight. First pitch, strike call to the left-hand batter. Fastball high and away, 1-1. Cooper is hitting .303. Molitor hitting .301. Cooper is the leading hitter on the ball club. Ready at first. Bordy at the belt. Pitches. Swing. Miss. A ball and 2 strikes. Dennis Rasmussen is up in the Yankee bullpen. Mattingly playing behind Reddy, and the pitch to Cooper. Tapper out in front of the plate, picked up by Bordy, and he slips. He slips in the very wet grass, and he can't make a throw. And the Brewers have runners at first and second. A base hit for Cooper.
14 hits in the game now for the Brewers. Actually, Bordy slipped twice. He slipped as he reached down for the ball. Realizing then that the footing was not solid, he tried to plant that back foot to make a throw and slipped again and did not have an opportunity to make a throw.
The batter will be Ted Simmons, with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Simmons tonight is 1 for 4. Every Brewer's had a base hit except Romero. Strike one is called on Simmons. Simmons had an infield hit in the 4th inning. The pitch. Low and outside. Big play in the 4th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Charlie Moore hit a ground ball to first base, and Mattingly came home with the throw, and they got Simmons out at the plate. He takes the pitch low.
A little simple force play. And a very alert play by Mattingly. And a good tag by Hasse, because the throw was a little bit off the mark, and Hasse had to tag the runner coming across. Seems very insignificant in a 13-8 game, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it was a big play there. Fly ball to left, coming on. Cotto can't get it. Base hit. Reddy scores. And it's now 13-9. Cooper stops at second. And Ted Simmons has driven in run number 9 for Milwaukee. This club does not give up, John. This Brewer club, they're playing hurt. They're playing shorthanded. In fact, last night, George Bamberger had only 2 extra players on his bench.
They have not called anybody up as yet, simply because their top 2 farm clubs, Vancouver and El Paso, are in playoffs. And they feel it's more important for these teams to try to win championships at the high minor league level than to call them up here, where this club really isn't going anywhere.
Ernie Riles, the batter, was at El Paso, though, that was eliminated tonight.
Yeah, the Jackson team beat them.
The Mets club.
Yes. So that means that they've called a couple of players up.
Billy Joe Robideau is one of them.
Yeah, he's one of them. And a catcher.
Well, the scoreboard has gone out here, and I did not keep the count. I think it's 1-1. I'm sorry. On Ernie Riles, he is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Takes a pitch high.
Now Rasmussen continues to warm in the Yankee bullpen, and he's joined by Bob Shirley. Not a funny game. Bordy got the first 2 hitters of the inning on routine fly balls. Scratch singles have kept the inning alive.
Up high. 3 balls and a strike. And I'll tell you, all the Brewer runs except their first 2 have scored after 2 men were out. All right. That is not to say that there were 2 outs when the runners reached base that scored, but all the scoring has been done after 2 were out in the inning. First and second, and the pitch. High foul off the left side. That's going to be out of play. Meacham gives it a long run, but no chance for a play.
All right, we're going to pause 10 seconds for Longines Watch Timeout on the New York Yankee Radio Network. Have you seen the exciting gold medal from Longines, the world's most honored watch? See it at Kay's, the Diamond People in Springfield, Massachusetts.
When you want to talk sports, call Art Russ Jr. every weeknight at 6, right here on Sports Talk.
WABC, New York.
All right, here we go. The runners go, and the pitch is drilled sharply off the glove of Hudler. 1 run is going to score as Cooper comes in. Hudler chases the ball down into shallow center field. And the Brewers have scored their 10th run of the ball game. That was a smash. Hudler got leather on it. The ball bounced away. Martin is out, and he's going to make a pitching change. As Bordy got the first 2 hitters easily. And now, let's see, 4 consecutive base hits. There's a break in the action. With a score, the New York Yankees 13 and the Milwaukee Brewers 10.
Note on Sports Sticker, Wade Boggs went 4 for 4 in the second game of that doubleheader, raising his league leading average to 368. It was the 5th 4-hit game of the season for Wade Boggs. All right. Bob Shirley is on to pitch to Jim Gantner. He faced Gantner last night, gave up a base hit. He was the only man Shirley faced in the game. Left-hand hitter Gantner, and takes the ball outside. Shirley has won 5, lost 4, saved 1. Runners first and third, 2 outs on a line drive down the left field line. Foul ball. Ball out of strike to Gantner. The Yankees are leading 13-10. There have been 23 runs scored on 26 base hits. There have been 4 errors committed, 2 aside. Gantner 2 for 4 in the game. Shirley throws to first. Riles is safe. Ted Simmons at third. Ernie Riles at first. 2 runs across here in the inning. 2 outs. The set by Shirley and the pitch. Strike called. 1-2. Gantner is complaining. Shirley ready for a 1-2 pitch to Gantner. Curveball foul to the seats on the left side. Yankees at one time led 10-4. 12-8. Now it's 13-10. Pitch to Gantner. Loops foul again just over the third base dugout. Shirley is the third Yankee pitcher in the ballgame. Whitson went 7, gave up 8 runs. Pitch. Line foul to the left side. Whitson was tagged for 12 base hits. He struck out 7 and walked 2. Bordy pitched 2/3 of an inning. He's charged with 2 runs, 4 hits. And the 2 base runners are his responsibility. The 1-2 pitch to Gantner. Curveball hit on the ground, slowly to short. Meacham is up, shovels to Hudler. They've got the out at second base, and that retires the side. Riles is forced, 6-4. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 8, the score, the Yankees 13 and the Brewers 10.
You know, the old game homestand. Starting Thursday night with a 4-gamer against the Toronto Blue Jays and a single-day game against the Cleveland Indians. That's the last weekday day game of the 1985 season scheduled at Yankee Stadium. A lot of businessmen like to bring their clients out to the game and watch the Yanks play day game baseball during the week at Yankee Stadium. And the last time they'll be able to do it will be Monday against Cleveland.
Ron Hasse lines the first pitch left center field. That's in the gap. Knocked down by the left fielder Reddy. Hasse for 2, and he's in standing at second base. Ron Hasse has his second hit of the game. He had a 3-run homer back in the 5th. That is the 11th base hit of the ball game for New York. The Yankees have 4 men with 3 RBIs tonight. Henderson has driven in 3. Griffey drove in 3. Mattingly has driven in 3. And Hasse has 3 RBIs. We're going to get Don Baylor as a pinch hitter for Dan Pasqua. Pasqua has been on the elevator tonight, struck out 3 times and homered. One extreme to the other. So here's Baylor to bat for Pasqua against the left-hander, Rick Waits. Waits is the 3rd Brewer pitcher. The Yankees scored 10 runs off Ray Burris, 3 off Chuck Porter. They have their first base runner now since Waits came in. Hasse at second. Baylor lines one to left field, but right at Reddy, who picks it off. Throws quickly to second. Safe. Boy, Reddy made a strong throw into Gantner at second base, and Hasse barely got back. And now, Mike Pagliarulo. Pagliarulo is 1 for 4. That was a double. As mentioned earlier by John Gordon, every Yankee has had a hit tonight, except for Cotto and now Baylor. Curveball, low, ball 1. Henry has been to the plate once and walked, and that was
the first appearance for Baylor. The Yankees lead 13-10. The set by Waits. He checks Hasse. The pitch. Tags hits it off the glove of the pitcher. Back over second base. Riles up with it. Throws to first. He's out. A 1-6-3 put out as Hasse goes to third. That time the pitcher slowed it down just enough for the shortstop Riles to field the ball behind second and make a play on Pagliarulo. 2 down with Hasse at third and Rex Hudler the batter. Rex is 1 for 3. He has scored a run. He has sacrificed. Other 2 times popped up and flied out. Right-hand hitter takes a low fastball. The Yankees lead 13-10. We're in the 9th inning. Waits pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Routine chance for Householder. He's under it and makes the catch. No runs, a base hit. No errors, and a man left on. At the end of 8 1/2, it's the New York Yankees 13 and the Milwaukee Brewers 10.
77 WABC.
We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Yankees lead 13-10 over the Brewers. Milwaukee will have Paul Householder to lead off. Then Charlie Moore and Ed Romero. Householder homered back in the 7th with a made aboard, his 5th home run of the year. So Householder is 1 for 4 in the ball game. Bob Shirley on the mound. Householder bats right-handed now and fouls the first one off the left side. Four of Householder's 5 home runs have been hit left-handed. But his batting average left-handed is .207 and right-handed .291. The pitch to him. High with a fastball. 1-1. Ed Whitson and Ray Burris are the pitchers of record in the ball game. Fastball line to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Cotto plays it on 1 bounce, and Householder is on with a leadoff single. That is the 17th hit of the game for the Milwaukee Brewers. But the Yankees lead 13-10. Charlie Moore, the batter. Mattingly will hold Householder on at first. Hudler and Meacham double play depth up the middle, and the first pitch is high to Moore. Moore had a double in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 4. Right-hand batter. Shirley's pitch to him. Hit deep to left field. Way back. That's out of here if it's fair. It's a foul ball. Foul ball way back in the seats, but foul. Neil Allen is up in the Yankee bullpen, along with Dennis Rasmussen. Moore hit that one about 1.5 miles, but foul. 1-1 pitch to him. Get on the ground. And to Hudler 1. To Mattingly. Safe at first. Householder is out on the force at second. Moore beats the throw at first. 1 away. Ed Romero will step in. Romero has gone 0 for 3 tonight. He drew a walk with the bases loaded in the 4th inning to be credited with a run batted in. The Yankees are leading 13-10. It has not been easy tonight, folks. Here's the pitch. It's a strike on the outside corner, a fastball. Bunched up the middle for Romero. And he golfs one on a line to Hudler. Throw to first. Double play. The ball game's over. A line drive hit right at Rex Hudler, who grabbed it, fired to Mattingly. They double Moore off at first base, and the ball game is over. The Yankees have won their 11th in a row.
I'll have the totals on the recap for you in a moment or two. The final score, the New York Yankees 13 and the Milwaukee Brewers 10.
Gold. Goes back.
Runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, 4 men left on base. For the Milwaukee Brewers, 10 runs, 17 hits, 2 errors, and 8 men left on base. The winning pitcher is Ed Whitson. His record is 10-7. Credit Bob Shirley with a save, his second of the year. The losing pitcher, Ray Burris, his record 9-12. Little sidelight to the ball game we want to comment on in just a second. The game-winning RBI belongs to Ron Hasse, his 4th. Home runs in the ball game for the Yankees. Ken Griffey hit his 7th. Ron Hasse hit his 11th, and Dan Pasqua hit his 9th. Hasse, Mattingly, Griffey, and Henderson all had 3 RBIs in the ball game. When the Yankees got to County Stadium this afternoon, about 5:15, there was a little mist falling. The first thing that Billy Martin noticed getting off the Yankee team bus and coming into the stadium was the fact there was no tarpaulin on the infield. At the end of the ball game, Billy exchanged words with a gentleman down on the field who I presume to be the Brewers' head groundskeeper. The man in question is still walking around down on the field testing various areas. If you listened to the entire broadcast, you heard us say on several occasions people slipped. Pagliarulo at third base slipped, missed the chance to make a throw. Bordy slipped in fielding a ball. Several times players slipped. And in Billy's mind, I'm sure it is not the fact that the play was not made. It's the fact that the slip could have caused a pulled muscle. So Billy very upset at the end of the ball game. But the Yankees win it by a score of 13-10. They stay 1.5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays. Yes, folks, Toronto won their ball game again tonight. The Yankees have now won 11 in a row. It's been 21 years since the Yankees last won 11 games in a row. Would you believe that? You have to go back to September of 1964. So the New York Yankees beat the Milwaukee Brewers in a slugfest, 13-10, the final score. A promotional consideration for tonight's game has been provided by Peters Bag Corporation, America's leading manufacturer of soft-sided luggage. Peters presents collections of luggage, tote bags, and garment bags for all travel needs, featuring the Sasan, Spalding, Trailblazer, and Balenciaga brands. For style, fashion, and quality, ask for Peters Bag products at most fine stores. New York Yankees baseball has been sponsored by People Express Airlines, the smart way to fly. Frito-Lay, Yoo-Hoo, and by 9X Yellow Pages. It's always there when you need it. Realty World, Monroe, Okie Data, British Caledonian Airways, and Yankees. New York Yankees baseball is a production of Ambler Communications Incorporated. The engineer for Yankees is Bob Novak. The producer is Brian Ferguson. The operations manager is Carolee Ashwell Brooks. The broadcast director is Kathy Korleski, and the executive producer is Arthur Adler. I'm Frank Messer. For John Gordon, Bill Rizzuto, and Bill White. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow evening at 8:30 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Now stay tuned, please, for the New York Yankees wrap-up, dugout, and scoreboard show.